What's up, Donovan? I just thought I'd do you a bit of a video just to sort of go into these triads a little bit more, plus sort of show you where the sort of things, the places you're going to go with it. It's sometimes a little bit difficult just via Zoom, especially in the early days, getting things across because of connection issues and what have you. So that little intro demonstration there, I was just using, I was thinking about the triads and the shapes we went over. So we looked at, let's go over them shapes we did in the video, in the Zoom call. We worked off this C bar chord, was one of them. So it's basically a C, and then we bar it. But when we bar it, we only really just think of it as just getting the G, the G string there. You don't have to bar it like this. Just grab the G. And then when we move this around, the root is where your pinky is. So like there's a regular C chord with the root here. We move that up one and bar it, and then we've got a C sharp, and a D sharp, and an E. And this E is what we're going to be sort of playing with in this demonstration and what we went over in the Zoom call. So if we take off our pinky, you're left with these three notes. You've got your first finger on the G string, the 4th fret. Like I said, you don't have to bar it, just get your fingertip on that G string. And then next door, our middle finger is on the B string, 5th fret. And then our ring finger, 3rd finger, is on the 6th fret of the D string. Remember, this is what I call group 1. And group 1 is just uses the D, the G, and the B. I'll just move this camera a little bit. And it's a good idea to, instead of using a plectrum, just sort of thumb 1st and 2nd fingers. So that is an E major triad. Coming from, and it's very important, even though this is super difficult, you've got to visualize and know that it comes from this shape. That's the important thing. That is an E major. If you're curious about what the notes are, remember I said every major chord contains a root, a major 3rd, and a 5th. Not necessarily in that order. When we do these different shaped triads up and down the neck, they invert. That's why they're called inversions. Triad inversion. So on the D string, that is our major 3rd in this chord. Our first finger is on the 5th, and our middle finger here is our root, which would be the octave of, if we put our pinky on for the full chord, our pinky would be on a root, and our middle finger would be on a root. Them two are octaves. So in this C shape, there are 2 roots. But we're just playing this inversion, major 3rd, 5th, root. And this also, playing around with these triads as individual notes, also gets you used to what these notes sound like within the chord. When you just always play, an E major, you don't hear the notes individually, you just hear the chord coming at you. When you break them down and get in the engine room of these chords, you understand what these notes sound like, and we start to learn the function of them. Like I did in the intro example, I was just playing around with individual notes of an E, an A, and a B. And we will get into, I've got the tabs for that, we'll get into that and we will learn these things. But for now, I just wanted to go into a bit more these basic shapes. So there's an E, so we're working in the key of E, E being our 1 chord. So we're going to do a 1, 4, 5 in the key of E. So the 4, so we're going to go from the 1 to the 4. So the 4 being, you could calculate like this, E, so if you count on your fingers, you've got E, F, G, A. So that's 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. E, F, G, A is our 4. So our 5 is a B. So we've got E, an A, and a B. So what we can do from this E shape to our 4 chord, we're going to work out of, so we've got this E shape here, and then right in the same spot pretty much, we've got this A coming from our E form bar chord, this A major. And we established that we've got this triad from there. So we've got to visualize it from this chord. There's our triad. Third finger is on the, again, group 1, so it's the D, G and B strings. Third finger is on the D, which is our root. Middle finger, remember with this chord, middle finger, always on the major third. First, so that means the first finger, always be on the fifth. That's that triad broken down. So if we go from this E chord, this E triad, and we want to go to our 4 chord, all we do is come up, slide this whole thing up 1 fret, and then these two switch. That's the only difference with them 2 major chords. Still on that same group of strings, it's only using the D, G and B. Back to our 1. And our 4 to our 5, what we can always do, whatever shape you've got on, so here we're on the, so we've gone from our 1, and there's our 4, our 5 is always just going to be a whole step up, same shape. So that's a B, coming from this, same chord, A, and there's a B, there's our B triad. So we've got E, back to E, to our 5, back to our 1, just 3 shapes. So what you can do eventually, we're going to learn a bunch more of these triads over all the groups of strings, and then you can take any chord progression you want, any song that you've normally been strumming with these big chords, and we could turn it into triads and start playing them all around the neck. A very popular beginner one I do is, first of all, let's go just through these triads, and then I'll show you an example of a couple of songs. So we've got an E from this shape, to an A from this shape, back to our E, which is this shape, then to our 5, which is a B, which is this one, back to our 4, back to our 1. And say, for example, I think we did touch on this, if you're jamming with one of your buddies or you're in a band and someone's got the acoustic playing these open chords, say it's a simple 1-4-5 in the key of E, you got A, E, A, E, B, A, back to E. You wouldn't want to both play the same thing, so if someone's playing the big chords up here on the acoustic, you could start playing the melody, the notes from the chords individually, rather than just bashing through the chords. You can be picking out them roots, the major thirds and the fifths. Them are the chord tones. Them are the notes that are going to create melody, which is directly linked to playing lead guitar, to singing, to writing music, to playing anything you want really. So E, I'm talking a lot, I'm just going to get a swig of my old brew here. There you go. Anyway, so E, A, E, B. Now this B, let's go back to this B. So there's our A. We've slid all this way up to a B. Now, we've got a B here. Same group of strings, barring the 4th fret. The 4th fret on the D, the 4th fret on the G, and the 4th fret on the B. Covering them, that is a B major. And you might be wondering where that comes from. Well, our root, 2nd fret, A string, which will give us this A form, B major chord. All we've done is we're lifting this root off here because we've already got a root there on the G string at the 4th fret. So if we take that root off, we're left with this, which we can do with our 1st finger, which I think I went into in the exercise video folder on the Google Drive. So wherever we do this chord, there's a D. This portion of it here is a D triad on the D, G, and B. You've got to. So let's go back to this B. Let's lose the root, and then do it with our 1st finger. So the D string, 5th, the G string, root, B string, obviously our major third. So that's really close now to our E. There's our E that we did before. Finger's already in the correct spot. All we do is grab that and we've got a B. So now we can do our 1, 4, 5 without really moving around much. We've got E, A, E, B, back to our E. I added in the flat 7 then, which we will go into. There's a whole new world when you start using dominant 7 chords and voice leading. So E to our 4, back to our E, to our 5. Remember, that would be our root. The full chords would be this: E, A, E, B. That's a simple 1, 4, 5 in just major chords. We're going to be starting to do minor chords, adding minor chords. Same principle. All we do to make a minor chord is we're going to be changing one note of the major chord. So wherever we, say for example, we do this chord, A major, this is our major third where our middle finger is. Behind that, you can hear, that's our minor third. So from this triad, we only have to bring this middle finger back one. So what we do is lift this finger up and bar then the G and the B string and lift our pinky off, middle finger off. A minor, A major, A minor. There's an example just how to change it. So to get to any chord, you need to learn all your major shapes and major triads first, and then we learn, and we'll do more examples. You just need to move one note to turn it into a different chord. You don't have to think of all these whole new shapes and concepts. It's just moving one note. And this teaches you how the fretboard and how the guitar works by using triads. So let's get back to our E major. A, E, B. And there's a B there. Same notes. So a very common song you will have heard using these triad shapes. I don't think I have to tell you what that is, but you know, Mark Knopfler uses these triads to get around a lot of songs, a lot of amazing famous songs you will know. All comes from triads and knowing where your triads are. A simple exercise of this displays using major and minor triads. A good exercise is Hotel California. And I'm not going to go into it, I'm just going to play it so you can hear it with the triads. But this is where we'll get to, and we'll start learning. We can learn this one if you want, or I think it's a good idea for us to do Little Wing, like we suggested. You can do all that with triads. But here's Hotel California, if I can remember it. So. See, I did it wrong. Let's scrap that. Let's start again. I'm going to do it here. So you could hear kind of the melody of Hotel California because I was picking out the notes of the triads, going slowly and very basic through the tune. So that's a little example. And again. Let's look at the shapes quickly. You've got this shape, which we did, to this shape, back to here, and then up to here. So everything we've covered in this lesson on the Zoom can get you to playing that tune. You never knew how, or you don't know how. Like I said, you could start putting together any song, any melody, anything you want, just by having some knowledge of these chords and triads up and down the fretboard. I've gone on for a long time, that's about 18 minutes. So I will see you soon, good luck.